Why hello there, good people of the earth. Shams Nelson here from Fantastic Anatomy, and in today's video I want to do a review of my Wacom Intuos 3 tablet, graphics tablet apparently. And I've had this baby for about 15 years, I've estimated, because I got it in middle school as far as I remember, and I've taken it to Egypt and back with me, and I've taken it all around the place, and this thing is a very durable, awesome little tablet, I think. And I'm just gonna kind of go through it, not spec by spec, but just my experience and my thoughts, and like what I think are important selling points, and if there are any drawbacks that I've experienced, I'm gonna share those with you too. So let's get started with the pen. So I've also had, by the way, the Companion 2, the Wacom Companion 2, and the Bamboo. I've tried the Bamboo, I borrowed it from a friend, so I'll be comparing it to those. So starting off with the pen, this pen is exactly the same basically as the one in the Companion that comes with the Companion 2. The one that comes with the Companion 2 comes in a case and with extra nibs and stuff. But that's one of the things that, like, it's a nice luxury, but it's not really necessary. And but basically the design of this is really ergonomic, like the way that this part thickens, and the rubber grip, the weighting of it. I don't know if you can tell, but it's got a decent weight to it, but not too much, and really fine construction. I've never had to replace the nib on this. In 15 years, I've never once replaced the little nib, and you can see it looks pretty good, I think. And I'm not really that, like, I don't baby it, and I don't, like, try to push, I'm not trying to draw lightly or anything like that. In comparison, the nib on my my friend's Bamboo that I borrowed, it was totally worn down, even right when I got it. And I don't know how much he's used it and stuff, but it was clearly like at an angle cut like this, basically, and sharp. And so I don't know if, I assume that's from more poor construction. I can't imagine he's pressing down so much harder than me that it wore it down. There used to be two buttons here. This is the one thing that has quote unquote broken, or these thing is a little plastic piece that broke off. Apparently you can get a replacement pack and put it on there. But basically there was a right and left click, or you could program it to whatever, but you could click here and here, and it was just one piece. And I never really used it that much. Doesn't affect the functionality of the pen and the pressure and stuff. You just lose those two buttons if this thing falls off. On the back, you've got the eraser, and this thing has a little push. See how it goes in? Which is really nice. It feels right when you're pushing, like if you push more to erase a bigger area, then you know, it feels good. And I don't know if the nib has a little bit of that, but the nib feels good too. Moving on to the tablet itself, this thing is made of some like futuristic super material. I don't know what it is, but no, I mean, there's just like a plastic covering, and but it's just super sturdy. I always transport this. I just wrap the cable around it and stick it in my bag, you know, like put this here, wrap the cable around a couple times, and then stick it in my bag, and that's how I've almost always transported it. And as you can see, there are some slight scratches, so you can see some scratches there, but this is completely normal. My Companion 2, even after a month of using it, had little micro scratches all over the screen, and I was actually very careful with that one because, you know, it's a whole computer and everything like that. But this thing is super sturdy, man. It's crazy. I think I already showed it from side view, but it's really thick. The construction feels super solid. I'm not gonna bang it around and push my luck, but really, this is a really solid piece of equipment. And here it's got these are the buttons, like, that you can program to whatever. I have this one programmed to option for color selection. You know, like, I don't know what the other ones are. I don't really use them too much. This can you use to zoom in and out, so it's like a little pad. You go up and down to zoom in and out. I use that sometimes. I'm sure I could be utilizing these better, but like the main functionality is getting the pen with the pressure sensitivity and the tilt and everything. So let's talk about that. Pressure sensitivity, great. I don't know, like, it seemed exactly the same as the Companion. I'm thinking the Companion has more levels, but honestly, like, it doesn't matter. This has got more than enough levels that you should need, I think. The tilt isn't the greatest. The tilt doesn't feel as responsive as I would like, and it's weird because you don't want to tilt things like this and this while you're drawing. I mean, maybe you do, I don't know. I guess if you hold it like that, you can And most of the brushes don't even use the tilt feature. Well, the most brushes that I use. So I'm not exactly, that might be one feature where I'm like, meh, it might not be as good as the Companion 2. I don't remember if I used many brushes with the tilt feature there, but it still works, the tilt feature. It just doesn't seem as like hyper responsive and nice as the pressure and stuff like that. Aside from that, the last thing I'll mention is that the cable is really nice and long. Look how long this cable is. And it's tough too. It's good casing. It's not fraying or anything. It's just a regular USB plug. And it's plug and play. Like, I can start up Photoshop and then plug it in and it'll work. I can plug it in and then start up Photoshop, it'll work. You don't need to like plug it in before you start up your computer or anything too fancy like that. And it's long enough that, you know, you can plug it into the left side of the computer and have it on the right, it's fine. You can have it on your lap, the computer in front of you, a ways, it's fine. I've never felt that it's either too long or too short. Like too short that I couldn't work with it how I wanted to, or it's so long that it was getting in the way. So I really like the length and the durability of it. And I mean, where it's, let's see where it plugs in. You know, I've never had a problem with that. It looks like a very sturdy construction. Sorry about the dirtiness, but it just goes to show that, you know, I'm showing you this is how I use it. I didn't clean it up or anything. This is just how it is. It's a real life, honest to God review of the Wacom Intuos 3. And I think that's it. I think that covers all the bases. So basically, actually, let me compare it to the Bamboo a little more. The Bamboo is significantly cheaper, but I would not recommend it. My friend's Bamboo, first off, the construction felt super flimsy compared to this. It felt like a piece of cheap plastic. This one feels like a beastly chunk of plastic. You know what I mean? My friend's Bamboo has these big buttons. One of them had like a big crack down it or something, and you could tell the whole tablet was like warped a little bit or cracked or bent, which I can't imagine. That could never really happen with this. I don't know what you'd have to put it through to crack or bend it. It's kind of ridiculously strong. And the pen, I don't know if I already mentioned this, but the pen of the Bamboo doesn't have this nice ergonomic design, and it feels a lot lighter and flimsier. It's not as nice an experience to use it as it is this Intuos 3. And this size, I'll mention that, so the size right here, this usually just takes up the whole screen. So if I go like this, I've just drawn a line across the whole screen. So if you get a bigger one, what that allows you to do, I guess, is get more arm motion in there as opposed to smaller wrist motions. And I've heard that some people actually don't like this. When I was working on the Companion, I kind of liked the idea of having it at a 45-degree angle tilt, you know how you're supposed to, and then using your wrist, you know, resting your thing and kind of using your whole arm to get the fluid motions. And I know that's the ideal way to draw and to do art, but it's really convenient and easy just kind of going like this, you know, like the color area in, or if you want to get a long line, just kind of go like that. I don't think that the smaller size really affects the performance that much, but if you prefer a larger screen, I mean, I think it comes down to preference. That's what I would say. This works fine. If you like it, you might like it bigger, you might like it smaller. Some people like it smaller. It makes it more convenient to make like a long line. You just go like that as opposed to having to really move across the whole screen. So I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments down below, and peace, God bless, and stay fantastic, everyone.